is what?
Motion.
Is what?
Motion.
Now, in our previous class, I explained the meaning of physics for you. I told you they derived the word of physics from physical, what you can see physical. That's what we call physics. And then I told you that physics dealing with non-living things, and then we call it objects. In our previous class, we call it objects. If you don't watch our previous class, you can go and watch it. So physics dealing with non-living things, and then it's called matter. Matter is anything that has weight or mass and occupy space. Matter is anything that has weight or mass and occupy space. And then matter dealing with non-living things. Matter dealing with non-living things. So far you recall, you understand our last work on physics. Then I will now it will help us to explain what we call motion. It will help us to explain motion very, very well. Now look at me now. If I move like this, I'm on motion. My movement, the way I move, I'm on motion. But don't forget, I told you, physics dealing with object. Object cannot move alone without something that will help object to move. And then something that will help object to move, maybe by push or pull. And then that thing, we call it force. Agent of motion is called force. Agent of motion is called what?
Force.
Agent of motion is called what?
Force.
Now look at it now. This is my system. If I push my system, you can see my system is moving. If I pull it, it's moving. So now, force, maybe you push or you pull, and then the motion will occur. With my little explanation, I told you physics dealing with objects. There is no way we define this motion without mentioning objects. There is no way we define this motion without mentioning force. And then you know that if movement wants to occur, movement will move is from one point to another. So there is no way we define the word of motion without mentioning all these important word in that physics. So now I want to define motion now. Motion is the physical movement. Motion is the physical movement of an object. We can use the word object, we can use the word body, we can use object, we can use body. So they are the term in physics. We can use body, we can use object. So now, motion is the physical movement of an object or change in the position of an object between 2 points as a result of force applied. Motion is the physical movement of an object or change in the position of an object between 2 points, point 1, point A and point B, between 2 points as a result of force applied. What is physics now? What is physics? Physics is physical movement of an object or change in the position of an object between 2 points as a result of force applied. What is physics?
Physics is the physical movement of an object or change in the position of an object between 2 points as a result of force applied.
Good. As a result of force applied. Again.
Physics is the physical movement of an object or change in the position of an object between 2 points as a result of force applied.
Good, good. I hope if they ask you what is motion, you can explain motion now.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now let's move to motion of a body. Motion of a body. Motion of a body. Now, in physics, we can explain motion in 2 ways. We can explain motion in 2 ways. Sometimes we explain motion and measure force. In another way, we can still explain motion without measuring force. If we don't measure force, we don't reference to force that make motion occur. If we explain that one, we call it kinematic. We call it what?
Kinematic.
We call it what?
Kinematic.
We call it what?
Kinematic.
Now, if we explain motion and measure the force that make the motion occur, we call it dynamic. We call it what?
Dynamic.
We call it what?
Dynamic.
We call it what?
Dynamic.
So now, motion is change in the position of an object between 2 points as a result of force applied. Motion is the physical movement of an object or change in the position of an object between 2 points as a result of force applied. And then I explain motion of a body. In physics, we can explain the motion of a body in 2 ways. Motion of a body, this is the diagram. We have what we call kinematics and then dynamics. We have what we call kinematics or dynamic. Kinematics is the branch of physics that deal with the motion of a body without reference to the force responsible for the motion, but reference to the following. Kinematic is the branch of physics that deal with the motion of a body without reference to the force responsible for the motion, but reference to the following: displacement or distance, velocity or speed, acceleration or retardation, time, but we don't reference to the force that makes the motion occur. So now, kinematic is the branch of the physics of physics that deal with the motion of a body without reference to the force responsible for the motion, but reference to the following: displacement or distance, velocity or speed, acceleration or retardation, then time. What is kinematics?
Kinematics is the branch of physics that deals with the motion of a body without reference to the force responsible for the motion, but reference to the following.
Again.
Kinematics is the branch of physics that deals with the motion of a body without reference to the force responsible for the motion, but reference to the following.
Displacement or distance.
Displacement or distance, velocity or speed, acceleration or retardation, time. Kinematics is a branch of physics that deals with the motion of a body without reference to the force responsible for the motion, but reference to the following: displacement or distance, velocity or speed, acceleration or retardation, time.
Good. Why dynamics? Dynamics is the branch of physics that deals with motion of a body with reference to the force that's responsible for the motion. Dynamics is the branch of physics that deals with motion of a body with reference to the force that's responsible for the motion. What is dynamics?
Dynamics is the branch of physics that deals with the motion of a body with reference to the force that's responsible for the motion.
Good. Now, we want to discuss about force. The force. And then I told you, force in motion is an agent that makes motion occur. Now, I want to define force for you. If we want to define force, I want you to know something. If you push something, you apply force. If you pull it, you apply force. So now, force is an agent. Listen, force is an agent that causes stationary objects to move or change in the position by push or pull. Force is an agent that causes stationary. This stationary object, it cannot move. Anything that cannot move, we call it stationary object. Something that stays in one place. That causes stationary object to move or change in its position by push or pull. By push or pull. What is force?
Force is an agent that causes stationary objects to move or change in the position of an object by pull or push.
Again.
Force is an agent that causes stationary objects to move or change in the position of an object by pull or push.
Force is an agent that causes stationary objects to move or change in the position of an object by pull or push.